Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Pitch Talk.
We are fans of football dropping vlogs, videos and podcasts on the beautiful game.
Check out our videos on YouTube and Instagram's IGTV,
including special feature segments,
5 minutes with the G,
the Straight Shootin View,
coaching with JBK. We produce, record and edit video content
and audio on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
Verbal, Podomatic,
Anchor,
Spotify
and other podcast platforms.
Join the Pitch Talk revolution on Twitter, Instagram,
Facebook
and www.pitch-talk.com.
The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk.
I can see you now. I can see you now and then. I can see you now.
The Straight Shootin View.
What is up, people? My name is Straight Shootin LJA and welcome to another episode of the Straight Shootin View. Now, oh my God. FIFA. What are you doing? FIFA recently came out and have said, and they've actually sent out, you know what? You can tell my blood's boiling about this. FIFA recently sent out a statement to all the clubs taking part in the World Cup to focus on the football and basically not use football to make any sort of political statements, and don't let football get involved in any sort of politics or morality or issues or any socio-political issues. And it's like, wow. FIFA have literally come out and said, don't do everything that we do on a daily basis. Because FIFA, let me say it to you like this. FIFA, if you didn't want politics getting involved in football, why did you bring politics into football? You guys weren't talking about politics. Oh, let's not have politics in football. You weren't talking about that when you were getting your backhanders to give Russia and especially Qatar the World Cup. You weren't talking about keeping politics and football separate when you were getting your little kickbacks, when you realized the mess up you'd made by giving Qatar the World Cup and realizing, oh my God, we can't do it in 50-degree hot temperatures. We got to move this stuff to winter. Don't even try to, teams should just stick to playing football and not try and be anyone's moral compass. Yeah, you're saying that because you ain't got no moral compass. FIFA, you guys are a disgrace for coming out with that. It's a shame that Gianni Infantino and his band of cronies basically are a waste of functioning organs. Because you guys have no spine, you have no backbone. What you should be doing, you should have stripped Qatar of that World Cup a long time ago. Instead of playing politics, because you don't want politics and football mixing, but you're happy to play football and politics, because you ain't come out and said anything about Qatar's abysmal, atrocious, abhorrent human rights record. You ain't come out and said anything about that, but you come out recently and say, "Oh well, clubs need to focus on just playing. Teams need to focus on just playing the game." No, how can you? How can you expect teams to just focus on playing the game when you've got sponsors such as Hummel talking up and being like, "No, you know what? We stand with Denmark. We support them, but what we don't support is Qatar and the human rights violations and the abysmal conditions for migrant workers and the deaths of many hundreds and thousands of migrant workers creating the stadia and infrastructure in Qatar for the World Cup." How can you say to players, don't be distracted by that? Some players legitimately do have a moral compass. We've seen in recent years, guys like Raheem Sterling, Marcus Rashford, Philip Lahm has also had a Guardian segment and opinion piece about, you know what, players cannot turn a blind eye and plead ignorance when it comes to issues like this. Philip Lahm, German legend, international, amazing left back. And it's one of them ones where There are some players, and that's just 3 examples of players who have moral compasses. So it's one of them where it's like, no, you can't just say FIFA when it suits you. No, you should. No. The teams need to focus on football, focus on this, focus on that. Because you weren't saying that when the teams were protesting a year ago, a year and a half ago, saying migrant workers, we stand with you with the protest T-shirts. So no, FIFA, no. If stuff's going to be protests, tough titty, said the kitty. You are going to have to live with it. You are going to have to explain it to those who you gave the World Cup to who shouldn't have had it. So it's one of them. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. You want to bring politics into football, you can't then come back and say, no, it shouldn't be in football, because you were the ones who brought them in. The FIFA corruption scandal proved beyond a shadow of a doubt what happens when politics and football mix, and they shouldn't mix. As I've said on Straight Shootin View episodes, Pitch Talk Live podcasts, Pitch Talk videos, football and politics should not mix, but FIFA have been probably the biggest proponents, exponents, advocates, and literally enablers in making football and politics mix. So you can't dial it back in 2022 when back in 97 you were letting Sepp Blatter start this whole thing. And I know it went back further than him, but he exacerbated the issue of politics in football and negative politics in football at that, because it's never a good thing when politics and football mix. Just ask Silvio Berlusconi when he was owner of AC Milan and having his bunga parties. You look at these like Sheikh Mansour and the sheikhs at Paris Saint-Germain. Politics and football, yeah, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Sports washing. You want to talk politics and football? FIFA, how about stepping up and doing something about sports washing? But no, you don't want to do that. You'd rather ban a couple of African countries such as Nigeria from an AFCON or two because of government interference. But then when governments interfere in the big leagues, you say nothing. So it's on them, it's like double bloody standards. Double standards all over the shop. And by the way, I'd like to say, you know what? A few years ago, when Fatma Somoura was hired as the first black and first female chief executive of FIFA, I was actually happy. I thought that this was going to be a move for the betterment of FIFA. A little bit more diversity, so to speak, with someone who is actually legitimately qualified to be in that position when you look at her background in terms of running businesses and also being part of the game of football. You know what, on a personal note, to Fatma Somoura, as a black male, as a black person, as a person of colour, Fatma Somoura, you agreeing and co-signing this statement with Gianni Infantino is a disgrace, and I expected better of you. I really did expect better of you, because I was an advocate, and I think there's a Pitch Talk Push Point or a Rant of the Week where we talked about it on a Pitch Talk live show about your appointment potentially being groundbreaking, and all you've done, I've seen interviews where you've been where whenever you've been asked about the human rights record in Qatar, you've just been like, oh no, well, we're not really focused on that. Oh no, I can't really comment on that. Stooge, no backbone, just like the rest of them, just like Gianni Infantino, who was nothing but a yes man for Michel Platini. Same with Alexander Seferin at UEFA. Screw it, I'll throw him under the bus too. Yet another yes man moron. I said it is so frustrating, because I said I expected better of Fatma Somoura, being a black woman, a woman of colour, getting into such a high position and being African as well. You're representing a continent, a major continent, the biggest continent, and one of the most talented producers of footballers. And it's like, such a disappointment. Fatma Somoura, such a disappointment. Gianni Infantino, I expect some stuff like that from him. No backbone. I expect that. But you know what, FIFA, you guys are a disgrace. Telling teams, just focus on the football. Don't worry about it. You're sounding like Zlatan Ibrahimovic and LeBron James. No, LeBron, just focus on basketball. No. The World Cup is the biggest sporting platform in the world. It's already been politicized from decades ago. So FIFA, no. Don't come out and try and say now, don't mix politics and football. No. Doesn't wash with me. Doesn't wash. Utterly disgraceful from FIFA. I'm sorry, but no. Utterly disgraceful. And you're supposed to be the world governing body of football. You're supposed to have the best interest of football at heart. FIFA, you're a disgrace, in my opinion. But what do you guys think? You know what? I want to know. www.pitch-talk.com is the official website. Are FIFA a disgrace for coming out with this statement to teams featuring in the World Cup about just stick to football and don't concern yourselves with the politics? Don't try to make any political statements or anything like that. No. For me, no. One of them, not happy with it. www.pitch-talk.com is the official website. Facebook.com/pitchtalk. Become a fan, become a friend, become a member of the group. Join the footballing revolution we are working so hard to create. At Pitch Talk on Twitter. Tweet with us, follow us, see what we're up to. At Pitch Talk on Instagram as well for vlog previews and much, much more. Also, you can find us on Reddit. We're at Pitch Talk there. You can find us on TikTok as well. Search for Pitch Talk for short clips and some legacy clips as well. Also, Ghana, G-A-A-N-A, Verbal, V-U-R-B-L, we're Verbal ambassadors and proud of it. Player FM, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you pick up your podcast, search for the Pitch Talk podcast. Find us, spread the word, give us a like, rate, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Good stuff. YouTube.com/Pitch Talk is where you can find our videos as well. I have been Straight Shootin LJA, and until next time, take care, people, and thank you for your time. Bye-bye.
Join the Pitch Talk revolution.
Check out the official Pitch Talk website.
www.pitch-talk.com. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Pitch Talk.
We are fans of football dropping vlogs, videos and podcasts on the beautiful game.
Check out our videos on YouTube and Instagram's IGTV,
including special feature segments,
5 minutes with the G,
the Straight Shootin View,
coaching with JBK. We produce, record and edit video content
and audio on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
Verbal, Podomatic,
Anchor,
Spotify
and other podcast platforms.
Join the Pitch Talk revolution on Twitter, Instagram,
Facebook
and www.pitch-talk.com.
The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk.
I can see you now.